Hello, beautiful people. Are you enjoying necromancy? Are you having a ball? Do you have 30,000 souls in your well that have answered the call? Do you have tier 90 necromancy gear for a big booty brawl? Have you done all the new quests? Well, not them all. Just up to Alpha and Omega, if I do recall. Yes, 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 and yes? Good. That means you're ready to take on Rasial. Now, I know that's why y'all are here, so that's enough chitter chatter. Just sit back, relax, and we'll show 'em who's badder. Rasial, the first necromancer for short, is a condescending skeleton with an ego so big, I'm surprised he can fit that crown on his big old head. He's been terrorizing the city of for quite a while now, and now it's time for us to show him a lesson using his own combat style against him. That's right, you're going to have to bring necromancy for this fight. And you'll have to do it alone because it's a solo boss for now, so go ahead and put on your big necromancer robe bottoms and let's get in there. Well, maybe let's not rush right in there. First, let's talk about what we're going to bring to the fight. You're going to want to be as geared up as you can be for this fight because the first necromancer is a big booty boss that packs a punch. I think you can honestly get away with tier 80 armor and weapons and still have a pretty good time, but you're a legend, so I know you've already got your tier 90. If you don't have anything that I have here, just replace what I've got with the best that you have and you're going to be fine. The runes are necessary so that you can use Bone Shield and Darkness. Most people are using a Scripture of Jas here, but we do what we want and I wanted to use Wen. Whenever it procs, I get happy inside. Whenever. See what I did there? Anyways, we need the ectoplasm to conjure our battle buddies. You know, the skeleton, ghost, and zombie. Adrenaline renewals are going to be great for the end of the fight when you want to have a lot of adrenaline. Trust me. I mean, they're really nice to have in general, but that's where we're going to want to use them here specifically if you don't use them anywhere else. I've got a quiver on just for the prayer bonus, and my EOF is literally there for the soul split effect. There's no necromancy spec inside of it. I did end up bringing Super Ceridome and Bruise because I'm a scrub. I just wanted a little extra healing power in case things go south, and they did go south. Just bring whatever food you feel comfortable with. The Necromancy Zut Cape is also kind of important because it reduces the adrenaline cost of Death Skulls, and Death Skulls go burr. But if you don't have it, that's okay because you're a legend and you can still take on the green guy. All you need is a can-do attitude and a pack yak. And yes, we are yakking today. There is absolutely no shame in the pack yak game. And finally, it's a relatable guide, so you already know that we've got scavenging and looting because we love seeing raw cavefish on the ground while we're stomping bosses. Now that we know what we're bringing, let's go over the mechanics. So the Rizzler has a lot of attacks actually. What are they called? We don't care. It's what they do and how you react to them that matters here. So he hits you with necromancy auto attacks. What you'd think is that I'm probably going to tell you to pray against necromancy during the fight, right? Well, no. Because he's a sneaky snake and he likes to disable your necromancy prayer very frequently. And this is really bad for when he does his big ouchies true power attack. So soul split this fight like the legend you are. Or pray necromancy and keep getting tilted because it's disabled every 10 seconds. You do you, boo-boo. So that true power hit, it's gonna send you to Herald's office faster than you can say, holy guacamole, Batman. The boss is going to yell this is true power and then smack you with a whole bunch of necromancy hits. To avoid taking a trip to see your friend Death, you can simply switch to pray necromancy for the hit and make sure your health is at half. That's just a good thing to do in general. Since you were soul splitting like the boss stomping legend you are, you definitely will be able to pray necromancy when you need to. If you find yourself in an unfortunate predicament and you can't pray necromancy, then it was nice knowing you. I'm kidding. Use a defensive ability, maybe reflect or something, and eat like you've never eaten before. You'll be fine. You're a legend. Another thing to consider during the fight is not getting in the boss's face. Not only does he have really bad breath, I mean the man's been dead for literal ages, but he also doesn't like it and he'll hop away from you, which can get pretty annoying, so put the social distancing to good use and stay 6 feet away from the boss. During the fight, the worst necromancer will spawn some ghosts because, well, he's a necromancer. They come at you in a straight line, so just get out of the way. Escape, surge, dive. You went to Ashley Surge School, so you'll be fine. If you don't move, they hit you kind of hard, so I would suggest moving. Throughout the fight, he's also going to summon up some poor unfortunate souls to fight you because bad guys never fight fair. You can just use an AoE ability to take care of the zombies and skeletons while beating up the big guy. There's also going to be some obelisks in the room. That's so hard for me to say. Just ignore them. I could tell you what they do and what they're called, but this is a relatable guide, and honestly, just ignore them. And finally, he can use Soul Scythe on you. He's going to jump at you and then wham bam, you're stunned. Just anticipate if you're a pro legendary gamer, or use freedom to quickly keep fighting after you've been stunned. Did I say finally? What I meant to say was almost finally. That's the first phase of the fight. So he repeats all of what I just said until you get him to 200,000 HP. Then he jumps up on the stage and he starts to zap you with what I like to call necromancy lightning. You're going to see spots appear on the ground, and that's how you know where the lightning is going to strike. You do not want to stand in the lightning without protection. Always use protection. The lightning is just really bad vibes. It does not feel good. So how do we deal with it? Let me tell you my foolproof method. You'll want to have some defensives ready: debilitate, reflect, and resonance. If you've got your bone shield up and runes in your inventory, because why give us a place to store them on release? Sorry, feelings. Then you are ready to go. First use reflect and just stand there and hit the boss. Then use resonance and walk away from the lightning when reflect runs out. Then you're going to debilitate and keep hitting the boss, and so on and so forth until he's dead. Again. You might have a few seconds of cooldown left before you can use the ability, so just kind of walk away from the lightning until you can use it again. And he's also going to disable your necromancy prayer every time the lightning hits you, so just soul split and eat sailfish. That's what yaks are for. Whew, okay, that was a lot of information, but you're a legend, so I know you got it. Let's go ahead and watch a kill, a full kill, a complete kill, and go over some tips and tricks. You know, I write these things out, literally every word that I'm going to say, then I start recording and I just start saying random stuff that comes to my mind, and it's not always great, you know? Ripperoni, Batman. Back on topic. The skeleton conjure does hit the boss in the last phase, so remember to keep that bad boy summoned. Or conjured. If you were wondering, you cannot poison this boss. Wearing Death Dealer robes is going to almost always apply the death mark effect, which means the boss will be insta-killed at just under 30,000 HP. You are able to use the Invoke Death incantation to manually apply the death mark, but you shouldn't have to. When you get to the second phase of the fight, when he's up on the stage, all of the skeletons and zombies and ghosts, oh my, disappear and the obelisks stay but have no effect. It's just you and the lightning, baby. I bring a combination of Death Dealer and Death Warden robes, that way I get a little bit of both passive effects. The dodging effect and the death mark effect. I mean, double dipping is normally not okay or socially acceptable, but it's fine here. And I mean, we're alone, so it doesn't matter. If you're wondering about auras, personally, I've been using Manjara, and I like how it's been working for me. I also want to point out that I choose not to use Soul Scythe at this boss, period, because it brings me into melee distance, and I don't like having to run around after the boss when he goes hopping around because I've gone into melee distance. You're going to want to cast the Darkness incantation before the kill to have a higher chance of dodging attacks and taking less damage as a result. And on that note, you're also going to want to conjure your undead friends before you start the fight, so that way you're not still conjuring when the fight begins. Call your skeleton, ghost, zombie, and cast Darkness, sip that sweet overload, and take a deep breath. Then step inside and donkey kick the first necromancer's face in. Now, I would not say that this is a very efficient way to kill the boss. I wouldn't say it's the best method. I would not say it's necessarily a good method. But what it is going to do is allow you to get in there and experience the boss fight, so that way you can start perfecting things and getting the kills the way that you like to get them. I really do think it's important to find a method that works for you and not just base it off of what other people are doing, so that's why I like to present these ways to do things that aren't necessarily what anyone else is doing. Yeah, I don't know, I'm just talking, I ran out of script and I needed some filler to get to the end of the kill. And that's it. The first necromancer won't be tormenting the souls of anymore. Now that you're a Rasial spurt, go out there and farm your tier 95 gear. Watching this guide gives you a 48% RNG boost, so you'll be fully geared up in no time. Just trust me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, share, and most importantly, be kind to one another. See you next time, friends!